has any issues with that, feel free just to leave the conversation there now. Just before the boys get started, this Canva training it's so useful. I know myself, I wouldn't be great at art or anything like that, or designing stuff like that in Word, but I done like 2 days training last week and I felt like a graphic designer after it. So it's all about just giving it a go. Have a listen to the lads tonight. Don't worry about trying to do design it while they're explaining it, but just take a few notes. Maybe, as I said, this is going to be recorded. You can watch back on it again, and if you're sitting on the sofa, to get your laptop and have a really mess around, and it's the best way just to pick up stuff on it. So best of luck, and I'll talk to you later on. If anyone has any questions, I think we've 31 people online, so feel free to write any messages into the chat box and we will answer the questions that anyone has. I'm sure there will be questions on this one tonight, so feel free, write a message into the text box and I'll get the boys to relay the message back to you. Okay, thank you.
Okay, hi folks, Sean here. Just to reiterate what Shane was saying there, Canva, it's so useful to use, and as well as that, you know, you feel like you've done 4 years in college in graphic design when you come out at the end. But just a brief overview of what it is. Again, it's bringing a more professional look to your social media. Sorry, can we just turn the mic off there, please? So, guys, it's just bringing a more professional look to your social media. With social media these days now, it's so popular and it's everyone's go-to. You know, you have people on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook the whole time. So, what it do? It's getting away from the likes of the Word document of, for example, if you have a game on or your club has a game, it's not such and such versus such and such on a blank page. You know, this puts a bit more, you know, glamour to it. And an overview of what's going to happen is, you know, I'm going to share my screen, and what I'll do is I'll design a match day fixture. So, for example, with myself and Card here, I'm going to do Kilkerley against the Clans, and I'm going to go through all the wee details, the bits and bobs that's involved in it, and hopefully you can pick up bits and pieces as you go along. But as Shane said, I think I found the most beneficial way of using Canva was just messing about with it here or there. If you have a spare half hour here or there in between, whether you're working at home or whatever you're doing, just to root about and get the hang of things yourself. Just basically on setting up the account. Setting up the account is pretty easy. You just click on the canva.com. It asks you to sign up. All you have to do is name, email, and password. They'll send you an email then to verify it, and then you're in. So what I'm going to do now, guys, I'm just going to switch my camera off, and what I'll do is I'll share the screen and I'll talk you through everything I want to. Okay, guys, so when you're logging into Canva, this will be your home screen. So when you're in, on the left there, it's going to say create a design. Okay, and they're just examples of the designs that I've done over the last number of weeks for, you know, different things going on in the county and whatnot. So when you're in, you just go to create a design. And it gives you an option here on the side. So if you want to design a post or a Facebook post, an Instagram post, or a flyer. So just for example, today we just go for a Facebook post. Okay, so then you're presented with a blank screen, and again, all these options are on the side. So they will give you a choice of a template. So templates that I've used would have been those today. Okay, so I just basically, what I want to do is I want to set up a post for that I'm going to post on the Kilkerley Facebook page. Okay, so here we've got photos. So you get all your standard stock photos that come with Canva elements. So you've got recently used, featured, and it just goes through different sort of headings where, you know, again, as I was saying earlier, if you click through and start rooting about, you know, you'll find that you're picking up things yourself. Here we've got text. So if you want to add a heading, a subheading, and then small body of text. You just click it and it'll come up. So then again, you go templates of different font combinations and styles. Music, that's more Canva Pro. So if you were to, Canva is free, but if you were to upgrade it and pay for Canva, you get a lot more, add-ons and stuff. But again, there's no need. Canva free is so useful that there's no need. Then you've got your videos, your backgrounds. So if you select a background, for example, I'll take this blue one. Okay, so that's going to be my background, and so forth. And then again, upload. So if I wanted to upload different photos myself, for example, of some of the photos that I would have had, just go down through them, all those here on the side. Again, with the photos, guys, Carl will probably speak more in depth on it as we move on. If you're taking photos off Google, it's probably handy to, cut out backgrounds and stuff, and it makes the finished product look that wee bit more professional. So I'm going to get going here, folks, and if you just want to take a few notes as I'm going through, to pick up certain ideas. So to start off, I'm going to need a background. So I'm going to look at getting maybe a 2-tone background, or 3-tone even. So again, that's going to be the picture you have. Again, you just have to stretch it out so it suits your background. Okay. And again, you've got your color palette here. So if I wanted to select a color that maybe wasn't an option below, all I have to do is go along the bar, left or right, and then whatever color I think suits best, I'll just stick it in then. Okay, so then we've got that's looking at our background there. Okay, so that's our background sorted. So I'm going to need text. So again, you can always add in your own headings, your subheadings or whatnot, but it's always good to maybe get a look and go through and see what's on offer. You might maybe have to change a whole lot if you can find a template that suits. So I'm just going to go with this one here. Okay. So for talk's sake, Kilkerley and the Clans are playing in the intermediate championship final. So see if I hold on to that screen, you find them all moving at once. Okay, if I just click up here, it says ungroup. So then I can sort of individually alter each. Should be. Okay, so that's it now. So we'll just go final. I'll find that right. It's just not what I'm looking for. So we'll go with that one, and then we'll move down here, and this will be our main body. So we've got okay, so we can see there straight away that the writing's way too big. So all I do is go to my adjustment box, I'll bring it in, it'll adjust the size of the text, and then I bring it to suit. And you see those wee purple lines or pink lines that are going around. They're about centering it. So if you were to line it up along with something, other than that, let's bring it over there. And then just the bottom here, we're just going to add in the time. So we're going to say Saturday. Okay, so we're straight away there. That's slight improvement, but it's not catching the eye. So again, you're going to look back at your fonts, and if you just go through all the fonts, you see the fonts along the side. The ones that don't have that wee star sign are the ones that are available to you. So There's plenty of them, you know, on offer. Okay, so basically that's all the info. Okay. If I just go down to my upload, so I've uploaded crests and images from earlier. So if I just scroll down here. That's probably another thing, guys, that, you know, when you're uploading images and stuff, you can't save them into a folder unless you've upgraded. So it probably takes a bit of rooting up and down throughout, you know, to get your photos, depending on the time that you've uploaded them. So I've got Michael Curley crest, McLean's crest, and we'll just stick the GA crest in there as well. So again, we'll just bring it down here. So again, it's not that complicated, guys. And as I said, when you're rooting about with it here and there, you know, you start picking up wee things, you know, that can really grab your audience's attention. So if we look at that there, okay. All right, so happy enough. That looks all right there. And again, you've got these other features where if I went to elements and they gave me a choice of frames. So if I was to go frames, so I'll click this frame here. Okay, just turn a wee bit. So I'm going to put that there. And what that does is it allows you then to upload a photo into that frame. So it's not going to ruin your whole poster. It's just going to go in that frame that you've uploaded. So I have a picture here. Yeah. So it's Kilkerry Clans. I'm going to stick that in there. Now that looks like it's a bit out of place. So if I just click on the icon, okay, and I go to transparency. So what that'll allow me then is that'll allow me sort of blend it in or fade it into the background. So it's not really interfering with any of my writing or that. So it's obviously at your discretion how much you want it to be there. We'll go with that one. We'll add another frame in on the opposite side. Back down to my upload, so the photos that I have, and I'll just throw this one in here. Again, transparency. I'll bring it right down. Okay, so there, guys, in about 6-7 minutes, you know, I've created a poster there. It's got all the details. It's who's playing, what the competition is, where it's on, what time it's at, the 2 teams involved, and then you have the wee GA logo. Okay, so what I'll do now, guys, is I'll pass on to Carl, and what Carl's going to run through then is a team sheet. Okay, so for example, for this game here, he's going to run through a team sheet and how to design one of those. So I'll just pass you on there to Carl.
Just Sean, before we go over, Sean, a couple of questions there. Just Sean, how do you get that the text goes in front of the picture? There's a question here from, I think it's Brendan. I presume there's an option to have images set behind text, although the transparency looks good here also.
Yeah, I'll go with that. So say, for example, right, I have this photo here. Okay, and I'll just put it full transparency. Okay, so you can see that there is already interfered with my writing. So what I do is if I right click, I can send it to the back. Okay, so then that means it's gone behind the shape that I put in at the very start. Okay, so if I just return to what I did, if I right click it again and send backward, the picture then will progressively move behind whatever you have in front of it. So if I went send backward, so there you see that the writing is in front of it now, and I go back to my transparency and I can work it then again. Any other questions there, Shane?
No, I think we answered them all. Carol's gonna Carol, you explained how to get Crest with no backgrounds in them as well, just at some stage.
Yeah. Right, guys, Carl here. So again, just following on from Sean, I'm just going to share my screen, and we're going to go through some bits and pieces. Yeah. Yeah, okay, that should be us now. Okay, so again, that's my Canva homepage. Some of the things we would have designed over the last few weeks are there for club and county. Okay, so again, I'm gonna go through a team sheet, a nice simple one, just to show how like Sean said and the lad said, we can make our social media accounts just that wee bit more professional looking. We'll just go into a Facebook post again. This is taking its time. Okay, so yeah, there's the blank post there now, just a white screen, and we have all those again templates at the side. Okay, a lot to choose from. So remember, we could click just for everyone's reference, we could click this template, and you can go in and edit that template and edit colors, like so. Okay, so again, if you like one, if you see one that you like, then we can click it in, and you can edit that to whatever way you like. So we're going to leave this blank maybe. Okay, apologies, hang on. Apologies, guys, just let me go back to the start there just to get a blank one again. Okay, so the blank one just be coming up here. So again, we have the blank white screen. So we're going to put a bit of color to it. I'll put it green. And you've seen Sean clicked into the elements earlier on, and spoke a wee bit about them. So I'm just going to click on this square, and I'm going to mess with it here, change the dimensions a wee bit of it, and take it over here. Okay, so what's brilliant about this as well, any shape, any size, you can come in, put your own color to it as well. I'm going to make that just a wee bit brighter. Okay, so suddenly now you can see it once you just add a bit of color. Suddenly you can see a wee bit of shape coming to it. Okay, so to my uploads, we have I'm going to go down to I have the pro account, and I'm going to go through some of the pro the add-ons that you get with it. And one of the add-ons that Sean spoke about that he didn't have on his free account was that I am able to put all my photographs and logos and crests and stuff into folders just to tidy it up a wee bit. So I'm just going to click into this one with the clans, and I'm going to choose this picture here. Okay, so one of the pluses from the pro account is that I can remove that background on Canva. I don't need to go into an external app or anything like that to take the background away. These images without the background are called PNGs, for your reference. So as you can see, if I was to leave that photograph just the way it is, if I was to leave that on the poster, you know, it kind of looks a bit you know, it sticks out, just not in a good way. It looks kind of, it just takes the look away from the poster really. So if I was to click that, you see it's after being highlighted, and we have up the top, you have effects, filter, adjust, crop, and flip. I'm going to click the effects, and now we see all these things, all these different effects in the pop up, and right up the top we have background remover. So once my photo is highlighted, I click effects, I click the background remover. It's there, it's loading, it's doing its work. Yeah, it just takes a wee minute or two, and suddenly now the background's gone, and I'm left with this photograph of just the group together with no background. And you can see straight away that looks a lot better than what was there. Okay, so we blow that up a small bit. And again, we might mess with the transparency a small bit as well. We fade it out. Okay. And now we'll start to add some oh sorry, I'll add my crest next. Okay. Again, you want you know, as you want your posters or your posts, when you're putting them on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter, you want them to stick out. You want people to click into it. You want people to look at it. So again, Canva is just brilliant for helping you do that. I'm going to go down to my crests. We click on Kilkerley's, and as you see, Kilkerley's crest, and a lot of clubs' crest actually come like that, come with the background. And not a whole pile of clubs have their crest in PNG format. So if I was to leave that crest just the way it is, okay, and match it up with the clan's crest, and if I was to leave my poster like that, you could see how, you know, it takes the look away from it, leaving that big background. So again, highlight it, back to our effects, and remove the background. And again, you can see how much better it looks without the background. Okay, so that's our two crests. Then we'll start adding some text. So I just go add a heading as normal. Doesn't really matter. Okay, something as simple as that. We could just, whatever you want, versus, leave the V in. Okay, you can move that up and down. Again, guys, it's really up to your preference. Whatever you'd like to do it. Okay. We can make up a date. Today is the 6th, I think. Again, I'll just come to the text box again. We can move it in to change the size of a font so we're not messing up the top here. Drag in, you can see the lines help you align it so it matches whatever other text or photographs that's already on your post. Again, something as simple as that. Again, the writing doesn't really look overly attractive on the post, so we can go up to our fonts. Maybe just click the Sanchez, see what that looks like. Okay, maybe a wee bit better. Okay, grand. Up the top here, guys, again, you could put Division 2 Intermediate Football Championship. Really let them know the competition. So again, like Sean, I just go IFC for Intermediate Championship. We want to change the text. Sanchez, bang, so it's matching. Is that in between? Okay, and now we'll look to add the team. So now, as you can see, why did I put the yellow square there, or the yellow shape? Okay, if this might happen, yeah. Okay, so we see now. I obviously I had the team sheet set where it was all in the one line. So because I changed the font, obviously each font is different. So now you have the two words above and below each other, which that's not what we want. So if you see where I have my mouse here, and then the two arrows pop up, if I extend the text box and make it wider, they'll come back up on to the same line. So we want to make it a tiny wee bit smaller just to fit in there. Okay. Back into adding our heading. So literally, if we were to go 1, 2, 3, okay, the whole way down. Sorry, highlight the whole box. It'll change all our font at the one time. Now you can just start adding in your players. Okay, so if it was the clans. Okay, we'll go Sean Smith in goals. And so on, and so on, and so on, the whole way down. Okay, so instead I'm not going to name the whole 15 players here. We'll get the idea. All right, so now it looks a wee bit messy. If you go up as the same, if it was on Word or PowerPoint or whatever app we are using, you always have the align function. So once we align everything correctly, okay, you can see until it comes up and it'll tidy it up. So then you'll have something starting to look a wee bit like this. Okay, so there's 1 to 15. And then even if you wanted, let me see, subs used, and name your subs used. So suddenly, you know, again, probably 6 or 7 minutes there, you have a graphic that you'd be happy to go onto your social media, you know, and it's great promotion for the club, great promotion for the game, and it really makes your social media look like a graphic designer is doing it, and it makes it look that wee bit more professional. So just one thing. Any questions?
Carol, could you just I think that's a Facebook post. Could you just show how to change that to an Instagram or Twitter post just for people?
No, I was just going to do that. Yeah. So there's no other questions. No.
I think Craig put the two links in just to take the background there, so I think we're okay there.
Okay. So on the pro account, another massive plus. Again, just to let everyone know, the pro account is $11.99 a month. I'm sure a club. I'm sure your clubs. There wouldn't be an issue maybe with your club getting that for you. if you're the PRO or so. But by all means, the free version is also really good, and it has a lot of the same features. But just another good feature of the pro account. So that's a Facebook post. If you know, so if I want to keep that, I'll go to the top right hand corner, okay, and I'll download it. Okay, so once I download that, okay, so that's what you'll get on your screen. That's downloading, and we'll see down the bottom that's after saving. Okay, so that's fine. That's that your Facebook post is downloaded. So now, if you see my mouse up the top left hand corner, it says Resize. So we click that, and now you'll see this Facebook post. The measurements of the photograph is to fit your Facebook timeline, so you don't have to click into a photograph to extend it to see it fully. Okay, once you put this on Facebook, people will be able to scroll down without clicking into it, which is, you know, what more people are going to see it properly. A lot of people won't, I suppose, click into it, or, you know, to open it up. It's great the way people can just see your full post, you know, while they're scrolling. So if I wanted to change this to a Twitter post, all right, I'm just going to highlight that. I'm going to click copy and resize. So it's also going to copy this Facebook one that I've done, and it's going to give me, and it's going to change it then into a post to fit Twitter. Okay. So now, as you can see, it's changed, and that's because the dimensions of the last one was smaller than a Twitter post. So there's a few things that we need to mess about with here. Okay, so I'll take my shape, and I'll just drag it over. Okay, and that's the reason why I put the 1 to 15 all in the same text box. Okay, because it saves you time. And now you can just drag that right over our team sheet text box over. Okay, and then it gives you the opportunity just to tidy up your crest in the middle to fill out the photo a small bit. Okay, make sure all our text is all lining up, and you see you can see then look, if you want moving this right over. So you can mess about with it a small bit, but it's the same idea. Okay, we can leave the photograph again under the text. We can add a picture of a Kilkerley player under the Kilkerley crest, but largely there's just only a small bit of tinkering that you might need to do just to tidy it up so it will fit your Twitter timeline, and people do not have to click into the actual photograph to see it fully. If we were to post the Facebook post onto Twitter, there would be some of the things that we wouldn't be able to see. You wouldn't be able to see the team sheet by just scrolling, that you'd have to actually click into it. And here people can see it nice and easy on their Twitter timelines. Yeah, is there anything else, Shane?
No, I think that's
okay there. If anyone has any other questions, feel free to just shout them in. Just Carl, maybe, obviously, is there any way you can highlight how to take the background out without using the Pro account?
Yeah, so there is a way that we do it online. So if I go, I'm going to add a new tab. Okay, so I have it actually. I have a bookmarked here on my new tab. If you see up here where my mouse is, PNG Maker. Okay, so if I have to click that, we can send the link out, Shane, when we're sending the rest of the info.
Yeah, no, we have it on the chat there already. Just maybe.
Yeah, so again, upload your image. Okay, it's just loading there. Let me see. So you see the original photograph on the right hand side. We've Kilkerley on a Clans player with the backgrounds in the back. Again, wouldn't look great. Wouldn't look great on our poster. We see the remove background. Okay, that's what you have my mouse circling. All we do then is download it. Okay. So hopefully it's after downloading for me. And I'll just go back into this one. So I'll just show you guys then how we upload a photograph. So upload an image or a video. Okay, you see it's after uploading now, and it's in this folder. And there you go. Again, you take the Clans team one out and put Robbie and young BB in. And there you go. Okay, happy enough?
Yeah. Anyone, any other questions? Or I think Brian, is it free, or is there a pro version also? I think the one that Carol is on now is a pro account, but the one Sean was on has still all the templates and all of the features on the left hand side as well. Maybe Carol, do you know any other differences between the two?
Again, there's it's basically this effects bar here with the background remover. There's a few different ones here. Again, they're not ones that I don't like. I've never used any of them. You know, so I just it's not really, they're not really massive differences. The free account is 100%, you know, great to use. It just stops you from having to go into that to this here to download and add it on again. I think if I'm not mistaken, the resize option, Sean, maybe you can come in here. The resize option, is that there on the free account?
No, that's what I was just going to show on the next poster. I was going to design how you'd get around what Carl did there for resizing. It's only a matter of copy and paste and just moving on to another template. It's not really too much more difficult than what Carl has shown. But just on that one, that there's no real difference between free and the pro. You might get more images and more fonts, but you know, I've probably used it now every day since the lockdown, and I've just found ways around doing things you know if you weren't on the pro account. So there's no real big difference.
Yeah, and just for me, the reason why I have the pro account is just I got it for a month to get all my Crest, to get everything onto it, and then once I have them on, they're there. Just before Sean, I'd give it back to you. Just what Shane said at the very start, guys. This here is very basic. Okay, but the only way to learn properly how to use it is really, you know, start using it, start practicing, start messing about with it. There is an app for the phone. I wouldn't recommend using it. I think it's fairly tedious enough as an app. The desktop version or the the online version here is much more productive and much easier to use. But other than that, it's all about using it, all about finding new things, all about trial and error. But it's a fantastic tool to have.
I'll just share my screen there again, Carl.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So just so we're back in a minute, just answer Katrina's question there. Is there a copyright issue with taking images from the web? I haven't found it, Katrina, but you know, if I do find pictures with watermarks or something like that, I tend to probably stay away from them myself, or just crop them out so that I'm not taking someone else's photo. So to answer your question, if you feel that there's going to be a copyright issue with taking the picture, I wouldn't take the picture. I'd just look for something else. Hope that answers your question. Okay, just moving on to that last poster I made with Carl. So look, guys, if you happen to say X out of it by mistake, okay, so I've just X out of that there. So my design is now gone. So what I'll do is I'll go back into all my designs and I'll see that it's automatically saved. So anytime I make an alteration to the poster or the ad, it saves automatically. All right. So for this one here, you're looking at resizing. So as Carl was saying, this one would be for a Facebook template. So what I do is I copy. So I left click from here. I make sure I'm covering the whole poster. Right click and I'd copy. So I go to templates now, or even click home. So I'm looking for, say, for talk's sake down here, I'm looking at an Instagram post. So the dimensions are going to be smaller than what I had previously on my Facebook post. So use template. Now again, you don't have to use the template. You know, all you're looking for is to get a blank. And I'll just X out of those. Okay, so I'm back to my. Okay, so when I'm here, I copy and pasted from the previous post. So what I'll do is I'll go to paste. Okay, and so what happens there is I've lost the picture in the background. So what I'll do is I'll just resize this to wherever. So as I said at the start of the last one, because I copied and pasted, they're all in a group now. So what I want to do is I want to ungroup them. Okay. So now I can adjust to suit the size of how I wanted to post. So just to get my background back, I need to go to elements. Okay, so that's already there because I've used it already. So I'll just show you what happens now. So I'll just drag it out. It's just a small bit of tinkering. Blue, because you have the majority of everything of all your work is already there. And I'll go green. So it already notices some of the colors that I've used. So the photos that I've used, so there's 2 photos and the crest, it already recognizes the colors that I've used already. So again, we lost our images. So again, I right click. I want to send that backward. Okay, there's my writing. So send backward again. And I'll keep going until I have it all. And then our GA logo is gone. So it probably just didn't take them all there. But again, you know, it's all a matter of just copy and pasting and then ungrouping. Now, because I have this from my Instagram, the best way I find, and I know some of the lads have found that to organize them. So I want this one for Instagram. So what I'll do is I'll click on Instagram. It's going to give me my Instagram logo. So as you see, all these are free. So I'll click on this. I'll bring it down here. And I'll just have it there just so I know that when I'm scrolling through my phone or whatever, that this is the photo I'll use when uploading to Instagram. And I find myself now, you know, if you were to send this out through WhatsApp or upload it through your phone, I go to download here in the top right. I'd always save as a PNG. So if I want to name this, I'll just go to this text box here. So plans, and I'll just write Insta. Okay, so I'll save that. Download. So we have it then downloaded here in the bottom left corner. And an easy way to find to get on my phone or whatnot is just email it to yourself and just save the album. So I'll just go out of here. So I'm back at my designs, and if this is the sort of design, guys, that you want to keep for your match days or your fixtures, I'd advise you just make copy, okay, and then have one to edit. So if I just click it back into this one, and okay, so we've gone to the following week. Okay, so we're not playing the clans anymore. Next up is okay, so I'll just get rid of this.
Lads, just a question there for Carlos, Sean. Why do you say PNG more than others like JPEG?
We just find PNG is better because a lot of the time the quality is more suited towards Canva. It was through trial and error that we found it out, and we did a course not so long ago, and it was just advised by Lenser, who was given the course, to use PNG as it's better suited.
Sorry, Shane, was who's it, Brian? The question is it, why do we use PNGs in making the design, or why do we download them as PNGs?
So guys, have you seen? I've moved on now from the clans. So instead of having the green in there, if you want, just scroll down here and we'll just pick red, 100% red. Okay, so you can add it like that, or if it's your home club. So if, for talk's sake, I'm Kilkerley, I'm just going to use blue and yellow. Okay. So I have blue and yellow. Okay, so it's Kilkerley. Obviously, I'm going to change the date. You have the option to change the photos with 100%. If you want to add a bit of effect, I'll just scroll up here into elements, and I'll go back down to gradients. So these gradients differ from normal elements as these give you the option of 2-tone, 3-tone. So what I will use is I'll use this one. Stretch it out a bit. So I'll bring this down to the corner. 100% being red and white. There's red, white, and again, so I'll send backward so that the logo or the crest is in front of it, and it just gives the opposition color just for that wee bit of effect. Again, it's another feature to help stand out. And then again, you'll just save and it'll download to your computer. Okay, so now we're just going to move on, guys. I don't want to keep this all night, so I'm just going to run through another one quickly. I'm just going to do, if you were to, for talk's sake, design a skills test for your club. Okay, so again, I'm just going to use a Facebook post. Now again, this is how you get around using the pro account. So I'm going to do a loud skills test. So we're just going to a wee bit brighter, duller. Okay, so text. I'm going to add heading. So we name it loud. Okay, and subheading, we call it the solo challenge. And as we spoke earlier, guys, I'm not going to go through it all again about changing fonts and, you know, having the writing. You know, again, it's up to you to decide which font you find more attractive for for that poster. Okay, and I'm going to go in here. Now I'm looking for a cone. So if I just type in the top cone. So again, here's the difference you see between the Pro account. Okay, these obviously aren't available as you have to pay for them. So I'm just going to use this one here. And I'm just going to reduce its size. We'll put it black so it stands out. So rather than having to go back into elements and click cone again, the easiest way is to copy. And then you're just going to paste. I'm just going to paste 3 more cones. Okay, and then we see the beauty of the purple line is it is going to line them all up so that they're not all over the place. Okay, so there's your 4 cones. All right. So obviously you want an image or a logo of someone soloing the ball. I don't have the Pro account, and I don't actually think the Pro account even has an image of a GA player soloing the ball. So what I would go into is I go to run, get an image of someone running. You see here, we've got a runner. Okay, she's there. So load up there. Okay, she's not just going to run around the cone. So again, you're going to need a football. Click football. Again, it gives you the different options. So you scroll all the way through them. Ball. So you don't want to be showing a soccer ball if it's a GA poster that you're designing. We've got this one here. It's not fitting with the logo, so what we'll do is change it all black. Okay. So we'll just resize that. And now it looks like someone's soloing the ball. Okay, so it's something nice and easy just like that. All right, so if I go back to elements, so I want to mark out how far the cone should be. So we go to line. It's giving us the arrow here. Perfect. So I'll bring that down here. I'll head back to text. So I want to add a subheading, excuse me. So we'll say 20 meters. And I'll just scroll down and just have that underneath the arrow. Okay, so easy enough there on that. So I want to add text to let the crowd or your audience know what's happening. So I'm going to add a subheading. So okay, player or solo. Must use, sorry, use both feet. Next one, we'll say time yourself. Okay, so how quick you can do it. Obviously, you can add more text, but for the purpose of this here, I'm just going to fly through it. Okay, so we see that's the way we have it there. All right, so I want to make sure this is aligned properly. So we'll click here on this button, all aligned, and we just give them bullet points. A bit smaller. So there we've got the basic of a skills test. Okay, so
Sean, can I just try and just I know a few people. Could you maybe put a faded picture just in the background of the whole picture of that? Maybe a loud player. Just
yeah, no, that's what I'm going to do. I've just merely just done the gist of what our skills test is now, and how average is looking, and then a few things that we can do now to make it actually stand out and, you know, make people think, geez, I'm going to click into this, see what it's about. Okay, so if I go down through my pictures, so I've got Declan Byrne here. Okay, so I want Declan Byrne to be in my photo, so I have Declan there. Okay, so Declan in, and what I want to do as well is I want to add a crest. So if I, again, just scrolling down find my crest. I'm going to use this crest here. And what I want to do, guys, I don't want that crest to stand out. I want it to be merely just a watermark on my poster. So what I'll do is I'll just go to transparency. I go right down. So you can still see the Louth crest in the background. You get the gist of the skills test. And then we've got our Louth player here. And again, if you want to root around it a wee bit more and add more effects to it, you just scroll down through elements. So it has all your arrows, your different sort of lines and all other features. So I'm just going to use this one. I've just got a red line here. It's going to allow me then to flip it, and it'll tell me when I have it at 90 degrees. So you don't have to worry about maybe having an uneven line or a wonky line. So I'm just going to make it big as this. Up again, up to the color. So we've got the gold from the Louth crest that's already in it. So I'm going to use it on that one. I'll send it to the back so it's behind the person that's running. And basically there you go, guys. In about 5 to 10 minutes, you know, you have a poster of a skills test. It's got all the information you need. It's got a Louth player, it's got the crest, and I think it's easy to follow. And again, if you want to adjust fonts and play around with it yourself, it's not too complicated. I actually found it quite enjoyable. You know, rooting around and finding new things and finding ways around of not having the pro account. But yeah, I'd highly recommend you to get it, guys. And you know, you'd find it hard then to go back to what you've been doing previously. If you look on the Louth Twitter, you can see that, you know, myself and a lot of the other staff have really upped their game, and it's merely now a bit of competition between us. You know, who can pull out the better Canva each week, and it's probably just bringing the best out of each of us, and that can help with your club or whoever you're doing these posters for. People will see them and want to get involved, and then you'll be trying to better yourselves. So that's all I have to say, guys. Let's open up now for questions.
Yeah, very good. Thanks very much, Sean and Carol. Just even on that, in the templates as well, a lot of the templates for posters and sports posters, if you click into them, if you just type into the search for sports poster, you'll get examples up there where the text and all match, which they would have been done by graphic designers and stuff like that. So have a look around templates, and you don't have to design like that from scratch, like that Sean and Carol done there. You may see one that might suit your fit. So just like thanks very much to the two lads. As I said, this webinar has been recorded, and the two apps for taking the backgrounds out have been put into the chat there, and I'll also attach them to the email tomorrow with the video link as well.
Shane,
thanks very much. If anyone has any questions or anything before you want to go, just type them into the chat and we'll get them. We'll be on the call here for another few minutes. Thank you.
I just see a message there from Brian that the PRO was never thought of in the club. Trust me, Brian, when you get out and you start getting the hang of these posters and, you know, rooting about here and there, they'll be asking, who done that for you? Did you get that done professionally or whatnot? So yeah, it's a great job. Thanks for listening, guys.